Responding to NFKRZ and Laowhy86, is YouTube suppressing content critical of China and Russia, conspiracy, or clownery? In early 2025, Laowhy86 and NFKRZ have posted videos showing that it seems like they're being suppressed by YouTube. Don't worry, you're not alone. Louis Rossman posted on his rant channel, Rossman Koi Group, who described YouTube's algorithm as a black box and a boss that you can't interface with. Here's the video. YouTube's algorithm is broken. Here's an example of its stupidity. I find it hilarious that, despite Alphabet Inc., which owns YouTube, and YouTube employees his typical political leanings, I can criticize his Russian elites in Israel, which means we have a common enemy, but my channel is apparently shadow banned by the algorithm. I do not feel confident to talk about Israel, and I'm concerned about being banned from YouTube, because I don't do it from a left wing, more specifically, social justice lens. As for Russia, my content criticizing Russia gets no traction because I'm not an authoritative source, codename for mainstream media, nor do I do it from a social justice lens, nor do I do rage bait, nor do I run on some mainstream prepackaged set of positions and appeal to the lowest common denominator. YouTube and other social media algorithms evidently promote rage bait and brain rot, content that either pisses you off or gives you a cheap laugh, respectively, in order to keep people on the site/app as long as possible, to serve as many ads as possible, and to collect as much data as possible to make as much money as possible. Also remember that YouTube bends the knee to advertisers who threaten to stop advertising and stop the fees they give to YouTube revenue to YouTube if YouTube allows on content that makes them unhappy. At the very best, companies are run by people who want their product or service to have a squeaky clean image and don't understand that the real world is not pink fluffy unicorns dancing on rainbows. And at worst, companies themselves are corrupt special interests that do not want to, for example, give money to press that would be critical of them. Corporations that own tons of trillions of dollars worth of corporate shares and assets, such as BlackRock, Vanguard, and State Street, have their tentacles both in the mainstream media and in the rest of the economy. It's reasonable to believe that they'll push their own interests. We've already seen this kind of thing with the mainstream media talk about mass shootings, but not SSRIs, because SSRIs are developed, manufactured, and sold by pharmaceutical companies which advertise prescription and drugs on television and radio. Here's Medicated to Death, SSRI's Mass Killings, by the Corbett Report, and a documentary, The Drugging of Our Children. Another theory by James Corbett on why the mainstream media doesn't do a good job at criticizing Russia is because, while Russian intelligence does have blackmail on Israelis and Americans, Israeli and by extension American intelligence and also have blackmail on the Russians. If Russia was to broadcast Israel and America's secrets, Israel and by extension America would broadcast Russia's secrets right back. Of course, vice versa. My personal preferred theory is that the mainstream media are just incompetent clowns like the rest of our elites. If we're sending billions in aid to Ukraine and raising defense budgets, couldn't the media afford to get their criticism of Russia right? Like Harlan's razor. Never attribute to malice that which is adequately explained by stupidity. To be frank, I don't know what is going on at YouTube. Speaking of decadent elites, Rudyard Lynch said that Genghis Khan essentially said that he succeeded not really because he was a genius, but because the civilizations he conquered were incredibly decadent and stupid. As Russia and China are descendant states of the Mongol Empire, I hope that the West does not fall off from its own stupidity. On a final note, I want to say that the left is incredibly stupid about ostracizing right-wingers, libertarians, and moderates, then making supporting Ukraine, or at least opposing Russian expansionism, left-coded, when the warrior class is mostly right-wing. Russia, Ukraine, and the Fogs of Culture War by Jonathan Van Maren, the European conservative, and transgender American journalist appointed spokesperson for the Armed Forces of Ukraine by Jonathan Van Maren, the bridgehead. Another stupid thing the mainstream media and left does is squawk about Trump being Putin's puppet. This is stupid. If you want Trump to do something, use flattery. Appeal to his ego. Something like stopping America's adversaries or defending Western civilization from totalitarian empires. Then again, the left has no survival strategy and puts together ideas in the most harebrained manner possible, such as supporting restrictive gun laws while being anti-police. What? Please save links to my profiles. Linktree /say no to democide. libertarianresources.substack.com /p/social media. My Odyssey channel @say no to democide. And my YouTube channel @say no to democide1. Thank you for watching and listening.